Whether you're playing My Career or you're in real life, in order to be a
small forward at 6'6", number 17, Tony Snell. At the point, 6'4", number 6, Bruce Brown. Starting at the other guard, standing 6'5", number 5, Luke Kennard. At 6'9", number 23, Blake Griffin. 0 left center at 6'11" out of UConn. Having big fun around the rim. This is Andre Drummond. Your head coach is Dwayne Casey. Ladies and gentlemen, your Detroit Pistons.
Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. And in our you'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Chicago Bulls. This is Kevin Harlan, and beside me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. David Aldridge joins us on the sidelines. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Griffin.
And guys, he's regressed a little bit offensively. He hasn't been the same this month as he was earlier in the season. He's lacking the edge that he had, and he needs to change his mindset. Stop sitting back and get into attack mode.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Markkanen and Carter are up front. Dunn is out there with Thomas Satoransky. And it's Levine in at the 3. And for Detroit, at the forward positions, Snell and Griffin. Kennard is out there with Brown. And it's Drummond in at the 5. Teams rest guys down the stretch, but what do you think about resting guys mid-season so that they're fresh at the end?
I think if you are a team that's been through these playoff runs, long championship runs, and you still know you have a chance to win, I think it's kind of unfair to us fans when you have a team that might not get to the finals and you're starting to rest guys and there's no benefit at the end. If there's a benefit at the end for the players, organization, and fans, I'm all for it. But if it's not, I don't like to see guys resting.
Carter kicks to Satoransky. Shot clock at 5. Here's Markkanen. Rebound by the Pistons. Victory eluded them last time in Chicago when they faced the Bulls.
Yeah, they were just wrecked last time they faced this team, and a lot of it was their own undoing.
It was a sizable loss, and it was mostly due to their awful passing and ball control. They just need to use better judgment in this game.
Brown against Dunn. And Drummond throws it down.
There's not many that dunks it as powerful as Andre Drummond. He's explosive at 280 pounds.
There's the feed to Markkanen. Kicks to Carter. A beautiful reverse layup.
And he's got and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Dwayne Casey and I got a chance to talk for just a bit. There are few players more gifted athletically than Zach LaVine. Coach made it clear their focus is trying to contain him offensively. Good luck with trying to keep him between the ball and the basket.
Okay, David, much appreciated. That 3 off the mark. For Detroit, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Kennard. He's been a factor in their offense on most nights with his scoring average at nearly 16 points a game. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Hammers the alley-oop through.
So gifted. Drummond soars through the air, then explodes on the finish.
And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. Trailing by 2, they defeated the Wizards in their last game.
That was a different team in the fourth quarter than what we saw in the first 3. Don't you think? I mean, they got their act together just in time to pull it out.
Now, that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Reason why it takes extra energy to do it. You have to trust your defensive rotations, but it's worth it.
Here's Kennard. Five to shoot. Drummond trying to get himself free. Good work defensively by Carter. The Bulls have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today.
And you look at Wendell Carter Jr., the center out of Duke. Fantastic blend of size and mobility. A lot to like about what he can do.
And Drummond throws it down.
One of the cases where height fails to tell you the whole story.
Now, here's Dunn. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Washington.
And it was an unselfish night for him as well. He got plenty of assists to go along with all those points.
Now, here is Carter. He tries for 3. Traps in the tray. And with Wendell Carter Jr., we saw flashes of his potential last season.
Easy to see why he was a snap pick at 7 for the Bulls back in 2018. As he gets more comfortable in his role and his teammates lean on him, he could be a force.
And guys, one thing that has been interesting to see since Blake Griffin came to Detroit is how he's developed as a leader, has come into his own with how he takes responsibility for the team's play.
And with Griffin, you look at his time on the Clippers, and for most of his career, he was more of a second in command.
Coach Casey said last year early on that Griffin is the leader of this team, and Blake took it upon himself to step up to the challenge. Makes sense no matter how you look at it. He's their best player and needs to be one of the leaders.
Now here's White. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game.
And a solid playmaker, White has a great sense for when he should look to give it up.
Here's Rose. A minute 50 left to play in the first quarter. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Wood, he's checked in for Blake Griffin.
Christian Wood.
.149 left to play in the first quarter. 6 on the shot clock. And there's Derrick Rose on the assist by Doumbouya.
This is why Derrick Rose is considered one of the best at his position. He is not afraid of going down low.
And it's Young at the elbow. The 10-footer. The shot that time not on target. And Detroit the other way now. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And defensively in that one, they needed to come up with big stops to quiet that crowd. And that's obviously easier said than done.
Yes, the other team is feeding off that enthusiasm. You have to try and match that energy.
Now here's White. He's guarded closely. The 19-foot shot. And he overshot that one, missing. And Morris has got the ball here for Detroit. They trail by 1. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And there's the call. Chicago the foul.
Derrick Rose has a skill of getting fouled, drawing the defense, and loving the contact.
And boy, what a year it was for Derrick Rose. And the sea of fans hoping that he would get back to what he once was, as he was electric.
Harrison's checked in for the Bulls.
He's living there tonight, a tough guy to guard without fouling. And the bonus, he's going to knock him down.
And White kicks to Valentine. Puts it up. White, good.
An assertive offensive player. White knows he has the green light to rise and fire.
27 seconds left in the first. Now, here's Doumbouya. Tight defense on him. Just 5 on the clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. Galloway with the bucket.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Both teams putting forth their best efforts right now. This is the kind of game fans pay to see.
Here's Harrison. Oh, my goodness, with no time left on the clock.
Without a moment to spare, he guts this one out.
Coaches always talk about closing quarters strong. Can't do it much better than that.
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Bulls out front, up by 1. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls, what do you guys think?
I love their effort, contesting shots, trying to intimidate here early on.
And you can see it's already having an impact. It can cause shooters to think twice.
So the Bulls 5 right now. Young out there with Valentine. Then it's White, and it's Harrison in at the 2-guard spot. From a low drama perspective, Steve, which stars do you think would be the easiest to play alongside and be their teammate?
I think Kawhi Leonard for sure, Kevin.
Yeah.
Doesn't say much, just goes out and plays. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jokic, a lot of those superstars. I think Paul George is another guy that goes out and just plays. So there's a few out there that would love to play alongside.
Both shots good from the stripe.
Well, the brand new Little Caesars Arena here in Detroit. How are you feeling it, Smitty?
GA, it's the art facility. Glad the new location is in downtown Detroit. Hopefully an iconic venue for an iconic team.
This tug-of-war game continues.
And guys, that's lucky number 7 already in this game.
White against Rose. Oh, that's blocked. Harrison in the corner. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Takes the 13-footer. Misses that one. He's made 1 and missed 2 this game so far. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Passes it to Rose. 14 feet away. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5.
That play was made by Derrick Rose because of his ability to play pick-and-roll basketball.
Right wing. Here's Harrison. And a miss there on the triple. The Pistons leading. Here's Doumbouya. And the jam by Doumbouya.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. Now here's White. Pass to Young. Shoots over Doumbouya. And again, no good by Chicago.
High percentage look for him. But bottom line, they're not all going to go down.
Morris outside. Back to Rose. A shot, no good. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball.
And the truth is, this league would have been much bigger had he shot better.
Young inside. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
And he jams it with authority.
And that's such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. Those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. Some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you. Here's Levine after the basket by Detroit. Now the pass to Arcidiacono. Off target from three-point range.
One criticism of Jim Boylan before getting extended was his offense. Called too slow and too methodical. He addressed that this offseason by getting a top assistant to redesign the offense.
And here are the Bulls now, following the bucket by the Pistons. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And Steve, for Boylan, a first-time head coach, a smart move to shore up his staff, though.
We see a lot of coaches now hire a specialist assistant coach to delegate part of that game to. Lets guys like Boylan focus on player development and defense.
And Markkanen drops them both.
When your bigs can make free throws, it's a huge advantage. Love his approach to getting to the line.
Brown the pass to Drummond. He kicks it to Griffin. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
I love that play right there. You see the patience of Blake. Doesn't force anything, just waits for his man to break free.
Dean passes to Carter. Over Drummond. And again, no good by Chicago. Pistons leading by 5. Plenty of space. And Detroit again with the bucket.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And here's Levine, who brings it up for Chicago. Pass to Satoransky. Left side, Markkanen. Back to Carter. On the wing, Levine. Shoots. Rebound by the Pistons. And it's Detroit's ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Here's Snell. Scored the basket. His second of 2 attempts.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
Outside, Levine. Markkanen against Griffin. Inside, here's Arcidiacono. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Brown outside. It's Drummond, top of the key. At the elbow, Griffin. Brown outside. Here's Kennard. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Kennard's got the lead up to 10 now for the Pistons.
Took him a while to get going, but here in the second quarter, he's found his rhythm.
And here is Satoransky. 17 points for him last game against the Wizards in Washington.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
The Bulls have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
Lauri Markkanen is a guy you can build around. The 7th overall pick in a very strong 2017 draft.
Pass to Griffin. The shot comes out, and so is Detroit, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. High-scoring half, Blake. What broke this game open?
It starts on defense. Our defense did a good job of getting stops, getting rebounds, getting out in the open floor, and got some easy buckets, and then shots start to fall.
Looked good in the first half, Blake. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you back here on our halftime show. Well, actually, we can't see you, but you can see us, but you get it. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. They gathered some serious momentum in the second quarter. Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. It's been quite a game for Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody saw this offense coming from him, but it's been key for his team.
This is why you prepare. Get ready for the opportunity if it comes your way, because you may be asked to deliver.
On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. On the wings, Kennard and Snell. And it's Brown in at the 1. That's the group for Detroit right now.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Incredibly swift in the open floor. You can tell that's where Dunn feels most comfortable.
Brown feeling out of it. Markkanen against Griffin. Pass to Kennard. Back to Brown. A three-pointer, no good. Bulls trail by 5.
Well, last season, it's a season of change for the Bulls. They missed the playoffs with a 22-win season, and they did have a change of head coaches. Not the results many hoped for going into the year.
The Pistons shooting it very well tonight, around 57%. Back to Griffin. Carter pulls it in. Smitty, as you said, the Bulls were a pick by many to compete last season.
Yeah, and this team, they continue to tinker with this roster. They made the trade for Otto Porter to be a part of their future. And you know what? The rebuild continues on.
Here's Kennard, guarded by Levine. Here's Griffin. Oh, and he jams it right over Wendell Carter. Wow!
Blake Griffin's teammates have to say wow, because they get the chance night in and night out to see something fantastic.
Levine with it. Still looking for his first bucket in this one.
That's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Reason why it takes extra energy to do it. You have to trust your defensive rotations, but it's worth it.
To the paint. Here's Griffin. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got 4 assists in the game.
Nice job by Griffin on the pick and roll. Great hands and great finish.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. When you look at the luxury tax structure, it's now more expensive than ever to maintain a championship contending roster.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's the choice of a lot of these organizations. Some owners want to do it, some don't. But I think if you want to win a championship, you're going to have to open up your checkbook.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Markieff Morris is checked in for Drummond. Christian Wood comes in for Blake Griffin. Rose is checked in for Tony Snell. And it's Frazier in for Brown. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Here's Young, and finally that one's good. Young's got his second basket of the night.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
Now Morris. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. On the wing, Morris. Drains it from beyond the arc. Morris has got 5 points so far.
This is the shot you want to get him. An open look from range.
And the pass to Harrison. From downtown. Detroit with the rebound. Here's Rose. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
Langston Galloway's checked in for Tim Frazier.
Well, the Pistons, one of the more successful franchises in NBA history. 3 titles and many other trips to the NBA Finals. Only a handful of franchises can say that.
Harrison, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Detroit gets called for the foul. And Smitty, you were talking about the Pistons, a history of success, of championships. But the last 10 years have been difficult.
Pistons have struggled the last decade. You're so right, Kevin. But this team has a track record of not staying down for long. Detroit doing what they can to return to championship contention.
He hits both from the stripe.
And last year, the Bulls having issues moving the ball was actually a strength for them in the seasons prior.
Totally agree. You look at all the relevant team assist stats. The Bulls were bottom 5 in all of them. This team, they fall into too much isolation for stretches.
Here's Kennard. Good defensive work there by Young. Bulls trail by 9. 1:39 left in the third. Back to Valentine. Pass to Harrison. Bulls moving the ball around. The fader. And again, Chicago. No good. And here's the break. There's Galloway. Light covering. Now here's Rose. 9 points in the game so far. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
That's a jump ball.
And so here is Chicago. Count the basket. Galloway has got the lead up to 11 now for the Pistons.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Chicago calls timeout. Well, Langston Galloway, not the most efficient scorer, but he'll eat minutes for you.
Yeah, Galloway not a player you want taking a ton of shots overall, but he can hit from outside if you give him a look. That's really his best shot.
Ryan Arcidiacono now checked in for the Bulls. Outside, White. Here's Gafford, covered by Morris. Here's White. Off target from outside. Pistons leading by 11. A floater. Here's Galloway. Banked in off the glass. Galloway has got 4 points this quarter.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
To the wing on the left. Here's Gafford. Knocks down the 10-footer. And so Galloway with it. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the third. Rose looking around. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Wood. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
Nice pass by Derrick Rose, spotting a wide open guy from the corner of his eye.
Passes to Valentine, the 17-footer. Can't connect. And so it's the Detroit Pistons. 13 points up at the end of the period. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice every day. These guys are professionals. Beautiful play.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. So the Bulls 5 right now. Markkanen and Carter are up front. Then it's Zach LaVine. Then it's Chris Dunn. And it's Arcidiacono in at the shooting guard. LaVine can't hit. Detroit leading by 13. Galloway dishes to Griffin. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Detroit Pistons. On Monday, they'll be matching up with Al Horford and the Philadelphia 76ers. Then on Thursday, they'll take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards.
And looking at that Jazz matchup, they won't have much room for error in that one. A team like this will punish mistakes, but I could see them walking away with this one.
Boy, if you're the coach, you hate to see that kind of miscommunication between your guys.
Satoransky's checked in for Ryan Arcidiacono. Pass to Brown. Here's the 3. Satoransky grabs the miss. Bulls trail by 13. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. To the inside. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Well, Smitty, you watch Markin. He's just built for the modern NBA.
Yes, he's an incredible weapon on the pick and pop with his shooting touch. You could see that being his go-to move, Kevin, for a long time. And there's no doubt that this team views Lauri Markkanen as a big part of their future. Many slept on Markkanen in the draft, but he could be a star.
As you said, Smitty, Markkanen has the potential to be an all-star someday.
He's not quite there yet, Kevin. Not by any means. Needs to take a jump forward and go from being a shooter to an all-around scorer.
Here's Galloway. Satoransky covering. Here's Snell. Offensive rebound. Drummond tries again, and the layup is good. Drummond's got the lead up to 14 now for the Pistons.
Multi-time NBA rebound leader. Might want to think about putting a body on Drummond.
Here's Levine, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need him.
Detroit making a switch here. Frazier's checked in. And Steve, some classic shoe brands making a return to the NBA with updated versions. Smitty, what was your sneaker of choice back in the day?
Kevin, that's funny. I started off with the pumps, the double pumps, and then I ended up with a shell toe low top. And then now you see all the youngsters now wearing low tops. They used to tell me back in the day, low tops were not good for your ankles. But I didn't really jump that high, so I was okay.
Here's Markkanen. Hits the difficult fadeaway jumper.
Another place where Markkanen's size really comes into play. He can shoot over anyone from mid-range.
Done against Brown. And there's the pass to Drummond. Dishes it to Griffin. And he uses the glass on the layup. And the Pistons lead by 13.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
In the corner, it's Levine. Outside, Markkanen. Back to Levine. The three ball. Second shot opportunity, and it's sent back by Drummond.
Andre Drummond with the wingspan of 7'6". It's going to be hard to get it over him.
Griffin can't get it to go in.
Even though he missed it, this is the exact play your offense is designed to produce.
Done shot's good.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
He is just unwilling to settle. He gets right to the rim and makes sure they come away with points.
Frazier the pass to Griffin. Good for basket number 6 from him in the contest. He's shooting 6 for 12.
He has the ability to get hit, stay up in the air, and to finish the play. That's Blake Griffin.
Carter against Drummond. Carter kicks to Dunn. Pass to Levine. From deep three-point range. That shot no good. The Pistons go the other way with it. Griffin with it. Now defended by Markkanen. Basket counts. 16 points for Blake Griffin.
He's been this way all evening. You can see it in Griffin's eyes. He has scoring on his mind.
Outside, Levine. Done outside. That one falls, coming off Carter's feed. Carter's got 3 assists tonight.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Reason why it takes extra energy to do it. You have to trust your defensive rotations, but it's worth it.
Got a piece of it.
And for Markkanen, contesting shots is not about explosive athleticism. It's about being in the right position and timing it right.
And it's good for 2.
Easy look from mid-range. He won't miss many of those. Lazy effort defensively.
Here's Griffin. And Griffin slams it in.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Pistons.
They really had it going, guys. Their offense propelled them.
In this case, it was the higher shooting percentage that made the difference and earned them the W.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And really, they finally got something good to happen against this team. The last two games they faced them weren't nearly as productive.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Blake Griffin.
Hard not to be impressed by what he did tonight. He was aggressive, he was efficient, and the defense had no answer.
And the wide-open shot from Rose. Satoransky grabs the miss. And so Satoransky will bring it up for the Bulls. A 12-point game. Levine, good.
He has length and he has athleticism. Both of those help him operate inside and beat good defenses.
Lobbed up there for Drummond. An emphatic LU jam.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
They gave the team tremendous energy tonight. The fans were fantastic. It was a true home court advantage.
Levine inside the three-point line. It's Chicago with another bucket.
And you got to like that they found something positive here, something that maybe carry overs into the next game.
They put together some great possessions here at the end. It's a shame they could have used this run much earlier.
Outside Griffin. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now we'll send. All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific...
You've heard me say it in the past. Now we got to talk about our man ball line. We need to draw a straight line from
The Knicks ready to enjoy that one-of-a-kind New York home court advantage. Coming into the building earlier tonight. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. The tallest building in the United States, One World Trade Center. Looking glorious tonight as we come to you from New York. Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. Look at the Bucks. They're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And, of course, the New York Knicks just need to take it a game at a time.
And I think for Milwaukee, they had a few critics coming into the season, and now I don't think they have any. This is a club ready to not only make a deep run, but possibly win it all.
Well, this is their goal. There's no doubt about that. For what many expected of them so far, they have not disappointed.
Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. Then it's Matthews. Then it's Brook Lopez. And it's DiVincenzo in at the one. And for New York, Randall out there with Taj Gibson. Then it's Marcus Morris. Then it's Barrett. And it's Ntilikina in at the point. Here's Antetokounmpo. Boy, he was something else against the Lakers. Right side Matthews. Over Barrett. The good-looking shot from the wing. Well, when it comes to load management strategy, Doris, should coaches do it along the way as opposed to waiting until the last, say, quarter or third of the season?
Well, Kev, I think you can look to the San Antonio Spurs, who I think were the first to really look hard at what we would now describe as load management. And I think the one thing is you're trying to just make sure guys are prepared for the most important point of the season. You've got to win enough to get in the playoffs and be positioned well, but your guys have also have to be healthy at the end of the year.
Here's Antetokounmpo. The Knicks making the shot.
Boy, you love Lopez's effort. This guy dunking is easy for him, right? He's close to the rim, 7 foot. Come on now.
It's a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, I talked with Coach David Fizdale. The Bucks got the better of him in the first meeting, and I asked Coach what adjustments he planned to make this time around. He said, we have to make them take tougher shots. If we give them clean looks outside, they'll just pick us apart. If we don't get a hand up on each shot, it'll get ugly in a hurry. Well, let's see if they can take those words and turn them into action tonight, guys.
Thank you, David. And the shot goes in.
You don't mind if the ball finds Lopez in that instance because he's not hurried, he delivers.
Here's Ntilikina, picked away. There's the pass to Middleton. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Boy, 4 for 4 to get things started. Must have been a good shoot-around this morning.
Here's Ntilikina, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Hits the three-point bomb.
Well, you can tell that Mr. Morris doesn't lack for confidence. This guy is ready to shoot as soon as it touches his hands.
Here's Giannis. Good work there as it goes.
Impressive. 5 straight makes. Love the play calling here.
The Bucks, they won their last contest, that game against the Los Angeles Lakers. Randall no good.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo, following the miss by Julius Randle.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Ntilikina kicks to Gibson. Pass to Randle. Clock at 4. Knocked away. It's Solenbad to Antetokounmpo. Ahead. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Well, nice job by Wesley Matthews to read the defense and put it on time and on target. Guys, when you consider the New York Knicks roster, there is some talent amongst their young players. More than a handful of their guys in their first 3 years in the league. Kevin Knox, Mr. Robinson, and Mr. Dotson all could be factors for them in the future.
And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. And the Bucks with some changes. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Payton outside. Pass to Ellington. And here is Portis. Over Hill. Down to 5 on the shot clock. New York, no good that time either. Doris with the youth. The Knicks added Dennis Smith to that bunch as well.
No doubt, Kevin. This was a player they had their eyes on. So when you couple Dennis Smith Jr. with some of the young assets they've collected over the last couple of years, there's a ton of young talent coming up in New York right now.
The Bucks shooting their first free throw of the game right now. Free throw drops for Hill.
And I think, Kevin, the leadership that George Hill offers is invaluable. This guy is a phenomenal floor general.
Payton finds Ellington. Outside Portis. Looking to end the run. Ilyasova comes up with the rebound. Bucks leading by 12. Connaughton passes to Ilyasova. Back to Connaughton. Lopez inside, guarded by Robinson. Lopez, no luck.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
Knox misses.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Here's Connaughton. Ellington defending. Lopez up top. No good off the back of the rim. Knicks trail by 12. Knox the pass to Payton. It's Robinson, top of the key. Passes it to Knox. And the Knicks miss again. For Milwaukee, they've gone 8 of 11 in the first quarter. They'll take that percentage any night. Here's Connaughton. Ellington defending. It's tipped. They get it back. Connaughton passes to Lopez. Shoots over Portis. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
Well, what I love is the game plan has been solid from the opening tip, and guys are making their shots. That's critical. Boy, that's beautiful touch on the floater. And let's remember, not everyone has that shot in their arsenal.
And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. And don't go away. Bobby Portis, who's known for his work ethic, said he learned a lot from his mother.
She gets up at 3, 4 in the morning and gets off at 1, 2 in the evening. You know, she works hard for her 4 boys, you know.
And she was a basketball player in her own right. Greg, a scholarship at Jackson State University.
Yeah, and gave up basketball when she had Bobby, but she encouraged him to pursue his dream, and she said now she's living her dream through him.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. Guys, we've seen the Bucks really take control here early.
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come out of the gate strong, and they have. They've taken the early lead here.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. And New York, looking at who they've got. Dennis Smith is out there with Wayne Ellington. Then there's Bobby Portis. Then it's Robinson, and it's Knox in at the 3 slot. Brown the pass to Ilyasova. Back to Brown. Shoots over Ellington, and it's Brown that time on the assist by Ilyasova. Brown's got the lead up to 14 now for the Bucks. Smith surveying the D. He can't hit that time. So Milwaukee will take it the other way. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, last season we thought the Knicks' cornerstone player was Kristaps Porzingis. But the player and the team fell out of love with each other, and the Knicks traded him to Dallas. The draft picks and cap space freed them up for a wild summer, led by the drafting of rookie R.J. Barrett in the draft. Now New York has one of the more drastically revamped rosters in the league. Kevin, there's a lot to be excited about going forward in the Big Apple.
Big moves indeed, David. Thank you. And a new group in for the Knicks. Taj Gibson's checked in for Mitchell Robinson. Julius Randle comes in for Bobby Portis. Marcus Morris is checked in for Kevin Knox. And Barrett subbed in for Wayne Ellington. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Brook Lopez is checked in for Lopez. Giannis comes in for Ilyasova. Chris Middleton's checked in for Kyle Korver. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for George Hill. Antetokounmpo against Gibson. Here's DiVincenzo. Milwaukee the rebound. Now here's Brown. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. The Bucks need to get a shot off here. Lopez, no luck. Knicks trail by 16. Here's Barrett. And Barrett slams it in.
And you see the edge Barrett plays with, attacking the rim with bad intentions.
And for a lot of these kids, Greg, it's interesting how quickly teams expect them to get up to speed. Case in point, R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, I mean, he had only the 1 year of college. already being asked to produce. Fortunately, he's very mature for his age and generally plays up to the level of competition.
The pass to Morris. Fires the three. Milwaukee with the rebound. Their last game, a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, and in that game, you see how they built out this roster, acquiring role players who can step up when needed.
And that's exactly what happened. Guys came off the bench ready to play. The offense didn't miss a beat.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Smith the pass to Morris. Trying to get open is Gibson. Morris, no good. Milwaukee leading by 16. In the corner, Middleton with it. At the elbow, it's Antetokounmpo. Over Barrett. Here's Lopez. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Lopez has got his third basket of the night right there.
Well, this team likes to see Lopez working hard on the glass. That's a part of his game he must continue to improve upon.
Pass to Gibson. Wants to get it to Randall and does. Over Giannis. Randall no good. For Milwaukee, they've gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Fires for three. Here's DiVincenzo. And so Antetokounmpo looking over it. Gibson with the steal. And now the Knicks on the break. They could use a bucket. Barrett, no good. Bucks leading by 18. To the middle. Lopez passes to Middleton. Count it. Middleton's got his second bucket of the game to go.
You know this, Kevin. If you're open, you can count on Brook Lopez to find you. He uses his height to spot open teammates.
Here's Smith. Kept alive.
And the way they have controlled the glass this game, really impressive.
And bottom line, more boards means more possessions. That's how you build a lead.
DiVincenzo passes to Lopez. It's Brown on the wing. 4 on the shot clock. Fades. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. Looking at the Knicks, they want to turn it around after the loss to Miami. Passes it to Smith. Down low. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
That one misses for Randall. It could go. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Milwaukee holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting. They've been dialed in so far from the field. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, your guys have been able to limit their scoring. How have you done that?
Well, I think our activity, hopefully, in the pick and rolls is making it difficult on them contested.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about the first half. It's Milwaukee with the advantage at the half. They are in control of this game, up by 18. Kenny, some perspective, please.
You have to marvel at the uniqueness of the Greek freak. From half court, he needs only 2 dribbles. That's right, 2 dribbles to get to the rim. He can pass like a point guard at almost 7 feet.
And that's a wrap for our half.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. You have to like what we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
Setting the floor for the Bucks. Matthews and Middleton, the two wings. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard. Knicks trail by 18. Inside. And Barrett slams it in.
Ntilikina may not be the prototypical lead guard, but he puts it on time and on target right there.
Well, you talk about a player who is a consummate pro, Taj Gibson.
No doubt. Taj is a guy who has always approached the game from a veteran standpoint. He's a great leader, great defensive player, and in between the lines and out, you can count on Taj Gibson.
The pass to Morris. And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Pass to Randall. Morris against Middleton. Stolen by Middleton. And now Matthews pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And the dunk by Giannis.
Well, Wes Matthews is a terrific passer. He is hitting his guys in all their spots.
So it's Ntilikina who brings up the ball for the Knicks. No good. Shot missing. Good D by Giannis.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Knicks trail by 20. Here's Ntilikina. He feeds it to Randall, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And a breakout season for Julius Randle in 2018-19. Averaged close to 20 and 10, delivering on the talent that saw him taken 7th overall back in 2014.
That free throw good from Randall. Greg, the Lakers allowed Julius Randle to leave in restricted free agency in 2018 so they could preserve some of their cap space.
I mean, his defense still lags behind, but offensively, well, he is special. The lefty, tough to deal with inside.
Robinson's checked in for New York. Giannis high post. Randle on him. Here's Antetokounmpo. Makes good on the step-back jumper. Giannis has got 14 points.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Chris Middleton was a first-time All-Star in 2019. We all know that Middleton is one of the league's best shooters, but he had to adjust his game to a new system under coach Mike Budenholzer. Middleton said, I guess that's what being an all-star is, a team player and a complete player. Not playing for stats, playing for nothing else but to win. Kevin?
First-time all-star and well-deserved. David, thank you. Ntilikina can't hit. Bucks leading by 18. Outside Matthews. Here's DiVincenzo. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Giannis inside. Randall on him. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And New York making a change here. Ellington's checked in. And then for Milwaukee, Pat Connaughton comes in for Wesley Matthews. And George Hills subbed in for Dante DiVincenzo. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Hill kicks to Korver. Morris against Antetokounmpo. Over Morris. Falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct. Just fanning the flames.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
New York calls timeout. Doris, who are some of your favorite players to interact with, interview, and question as you go through the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys. I think, certain people really give a lot of thought to their answers. So a Kyrie Irving, he wants to explain what he's thinking. He's willing to share and take a moment and consider the question. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, all of these guys, when I ask a question, Kev, they'll pause for a moment, consider the question, and then respond. And for somebody who's got to interview, there's nothing greater than having those guys willing to take some time with me.
Doris, you always get great answers from them, too, so there's a great rapport there, I can see.
Pressured that shot by getting a hand up just as good as a block.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
Pass to Connaughton, outside Hill, and it's out of bounds. The Bucks able to retain possession here. Here's a chance now to check out the New York Knicks' upcoming schedule. On Monday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards. And then on Thursday, they'll face off against DeAndre Jordan and the Brooklyn Nets.
And for that game against the Trailblazers, that's where you have got to bring your A game, especially when you know you're going to be fighting an uphill battle all night long.
Just 2 to shoot. Here's Giannis. They grab their own miss. Knicks trail by 20. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Absolutely ferocious finish from Mr. Knox. Just salute him.
And so Hill will bring it up for the Bucks. 58 seconds left to play in the third. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. Good. The assist goes to Hill. 19 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Robinson against Antetokounmpo. Here's Portis. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And the former Razorback, Bobby Portis, took a few years to find his spot in the NBA, but now he does produce.
And great big man to bring in off the bench. Good size and quickness combination, and will always give you scoring with that second unit.
And the Bucks with some changes. Lopez comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Middleton subbed in for Kyle Korver. And for the length of Bobby Portis, he's sure to provide a bit of fire when he's on the floor.
Well, Portis is never afraid to mix it up with the opponent or sometimes his own guys. This guy plays with a passion that maybe isn't for everyone, but boy, it does spark his teams.
Lopez. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Knox. And it's Connaughton with the rebound.
And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Well, there's no doubt there were better options on the floor, but it certainly seemed like he had his mind made up.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for Milwaukee. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. Right back after this break. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. We've got Knox. Elfrid Payton is out there with Ntilikina. Then there's Bobby Portis. And it's Robinson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the 5 for New York right now. Passes it to Connaughton. To the inside. Stolen by Robinson. And now the Knicks on the break. Payton with the ball. Here's Ntilikina. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Bucks leading by 17. The pass to Connaughton. Lopez with the ball. Covered by Payton. Middleton for 3. Trains the 3-pointer.
He's just stretching them out. The defense has got to do a better job of staying attached to him.
Well, you know this, Greg. This is a guy who's looking for his shot the whole time. You have to know who you're guarding. KYP, know your personnel.
Payton outside. Back to Knox. Over Middleton. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Doris, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a four-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number two, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship. Luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals. This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
Hill looking it over. Over Payton, and the basket by Hill. And the Bucks lead by 20.
Wow, he doesn't make plays like that very often. That's a nice move inside.
Here's the floater. Ntilikina gets the bucket.
Boy, floaters are notoriously difficult shot, but Ntilikina makes it look easy.
Outside Matthews. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Shoots off the step back. That one wide left.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Payton passes to Ntilikina. And he converts the layup.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
Well, Frank Ntilikina still trying to find his niche, right? You've seen him spend some time at the point guard. You've seen him on the wing. This guy has got to find the position that maximizes his impact.
And now the presentation of our Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he had.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. DiVincenzo passes to Matthews. Milwaukee the rebound. Back to Giannis. Green for 2 points. Antetokounmpo's got 21 in the game. And Doris, as you said with Ntilikina, it's been a search to find the right role for him in the NBA.
When you're a high draft pick, Kevin, as you know, there's always expectations. And for Ntilikina, I don't necessarily think his role has been clearly defined to this point. Once he sorts that out and his offense comes along, because of his defensive prowess, I think he should be fine.
Giannis left side. Lopez finds Antetokounmpo. No good on the three. Knicks trail by 16. Ntilikina passes to Randall. That one goes in. Randall's got 6 in the quarter.
Well, the problem is they haven't gotten production from any other spot. But right now, this guy is cooking.
1:32 left to play in the final quarter. It's stolen by Barrett. Pass to Ntilikina. And no good. The Bucks go the other way with it. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Middleton looking it over. And Antetokounmpo with the basket on the assist by Middleton. 23 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They trail by 16. 1:02 left to play here in the fourth. So it's both teams making substitutions here.
And this is
what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Bucks.
Look at their number of assists.
You know, they didn't get stuck in those one-on-one situations, and they got the ball to the guys with the best matchups. Easy drives, open jumpers, and great ball movement.
And so all the hard work here tonight converted into a tally in the win column. It'll be number 26 on the year.
And they've taken control of the season series. This brings them to 2-0 with one game left against this squad.
And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And the way he rebounded, he surely was a spark for the team as he was securing everything that came off the iron.
You know, Doris, when you think of the best dunkers at that guard position, you have to include Dennis Smith Jr.
His explosiveness, Dennis Smith Jr., is off the charts. Boy, when he is attacking the cup, as a defensive player, you better be on point or he's going to put it on your head.
Making every effort to put this game on ice.
Well, just terrific teamwork, GA. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
And Gibson kicks to Smith. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, make no mistake, Dennis Smith Jr. is not afraid of a little contact.
That free throw, no good. And the second free throw, good. Here's DiVincenzo. Wilson inside. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
But the truth is they've had control of this game.
And I couldn't agree more. What makes it that much more impressive, they're doing it on the road.
And so it's the Bucks taking care of business in this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.
The NBA 2K community is like none other.
Yes, we've heard stories about how 2K has impacted people's lives.
And getting mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. The activity in front of the Brooklyn Museum, not too far from our setting today here at the Barclays Center. It's that time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. DA, it's all yours.
Well, the Brooklyn Nets returned to relevance last season after their ill-fated 2013 trade with Boston cost them.
Really making the most of not having much to work with. Thank you, DA. And here's a look at some numbers for Young.
And it's a nice month he's having. Something's got him motivated. He's become a much bigger contributor offensively. He's settled into the kind of groove that every player wants to get in.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Herter the 2 with Hunter at the 3. Then it's Collins. Then it's Trae Young. And it's Fernando in at the 5. And for the Nets, they've got Joe Harris, Spencer Dinwiddie out there with Garrett Temple. And there's Jared Allen. And it's Prince in at the 4. And the last 2 drafts, the Atlanta Hawks aggressively making trades to assemble this roster.
And drafting DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, great length and versatility on the wings. You pair that with Trae Young and John Collins, and that's an exciting young core for the Hawks.
Now here's Dinwiddie. Good on the shot.
Dinwiddie can hit defenders with floaters and a lot more. He's got a full arsenal and showing you that offensive creativity there.
Young against Dinwiddie. Young passes to Herter. The Hawks working the ball around. Here's Hunter. Connects from three-point range.
And the defense has to recognize this. Hunter is a legit threat to shoot off the catch.
Dinwiddie against Young. Prince, right side. Back to Dinwiddie. Shot clock at 6. Young with the steal. Here's Herter. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
You just can't leave anyone open around Young. He's very capable of spotting his uncovered teammates.
And Brooklyn has possession. It's a three-point game. They beat the Hawks during their last encounter in Atlanta.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
Yeah, it was really simple. I mean, you look at the numbers, they did a better job of knocking down the free throws.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, GA, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up.
Kicks it out to Allen. Dinwiddie outside. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Collins.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
Clearly a careless pass. He got away with one there.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And that one drops.
Off to a nice start here. They've hit all three from the field.
To the wing right side. Back to Young. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. Players are sure racking up a lot of miles, Clark. A lot of games, a lot of flights, a lot of late nights, early mornings. But in some ways, it must be easier these days than it was, say, 20 years ago when you were playing.
It's easier now than it was when I played. I mean, we had commercial flights, 6 a.m. flights. These guys now actually have charter services. Heck, I often think that the guys before me had it much worse than I did. So it's all relative. But clearly, it's hard, it's demanding, but they also have the very best of care in getting to and from the cities across the league.
Herter, his shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor. We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game, just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Now here's Allen. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Spurs in San Antonio. Step back shot. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. And that one is good. Allen's got his second basket of the game.
Well, you see the hustle from Allen there, guys, and his relentlessness and the mindset to keep at it really allows him to gobble up those offensive boards.
And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game.
And we see the league-wide move discouraging mid-range shots. The Nets definitely among that group.
Yeah, and it's borne out here in that last season they took the third fewest mid-range shots and allowed the second most. So the analytics message taking real strong hold in Brooklyn.
Now, here is Young. He had a 30-point outing their last game against Utah.
Well, comparisons to Steph Curry, unfair for Trae Young, and they're quieting. His shooting percentages in year one leave plenty of room for growth.
No good on the free throw. And Greg, you talk about unfair comparisons for Trae Young. His career will always be measured against that of Luka Doncic after the Hawks traded back from the number 3 pick.
And Doncic going on to win Rookie of the Year, an instant star. And Trae Young with plenty of talent. And we'll see what he can accomplish.
puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on him.
And, you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
And the work ethic coming into play there. I like how Young can just focus on the task at hand.
Jordan dishes to Dinwiddie. A three-pointer off the mark. And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for the Atlanta Hawks. They trail by 1. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, they had their chances, competed deep into that game, but had a few lulls there that just kind of took them down.
And, you know, those are the kind of games that sting and that bad taste lingers. Knowing you were in it, but not coming through down the stretch, those are hard to get over sometimes.
And now here comes Jones leading the break. Oh, and the dunk by Jones.
You got to be very careful around Young here. He's clever at figuring out ways to swipe that ball.
The Nets have gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Dinwiddie kicks to Nwaba. Dinwiddie against Young. Chandler outside. 5 to shoot. Back to Dinwiddie. Jordan trying to free himself up. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Clock management. This is where they can get a 2 for 1.
And Kevin, every opportunity counts.
Dinwiddie against Young. Parker outside. Rebound, Brooklyn. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Pinson. Chandler outside. Pass to Dinwiddie over Young. And that one off the back of the rim and in. And it's 6 points for Spencer Dinwiddie. Now Young. Jones for 3. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Hawks lead by 1. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And when you consider how Atlanta is doing, your thoughts?
Yeah, in that first period, they look to push in transition at every opportunity.
Yeah, I like the way they play. They're looking to get up and down the court every time. Racehorse basketball here tonight. Strap it up. Don't look down. You'll miss something.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for Atlanta, they've got Turner. Parker out there with Len. Then it's Reddish. And it's Bembry in at the 2 guard. Pinson passes to Chandler. And he banks in the layup. Chandler's got his first points of the night.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving an inch.
Yeah, and the lead has changed hands, and it just hasn't stayed in those hands very long when it's changed. Back and forth we go.
The Nets with the lead. Here's Nwaba. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Good on the bucket.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. Passes to Bembry. To the paint. Here's Len. And the dunk by Len.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Making a statement for sure. I mean, we'll see if they can maintain that aggressive approach, guys.
It's the Nets now, following the bucket by the Hawks. Chandler attacking. He can't get it to go.
You know, sometimes making it difficult for him to finish at the rim is all you can ask for from the defense.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. He doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again. And Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much. For the Hawks, John Collins, he's checked in for Parker. Hunter comes in for DeAndre Bembry. And Kevin Huerter subbed in for Turner. Harris kicks to Temple. And the pass to Musa. Prince in the corner. 6 to shoot. For the 3. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
Here's Huerter. 17 points in his last outing.
No defensive pressure at all. I mean, that's not going to get it done against him. You know, for a team like the Nets building without top picks, player development becomes critical. I mean, the Nets have made that a key focus for their franchise, and you can see the results paying dividends now.
Back to Temple. Lays it up and banks it in.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Here's Huerter. 6 points for him. Pass to Len. Over Allen. Len's shot is off. Mark, you were talking about the Nets player development. Guys like Spencer Dinwiddie and Joe Harris were signed as free agents.
Yeah, and you know, guys, a coaching staff dedicated to taking them to the next level in terms of improvement and player development, the investment they make in their top-notch training facility, all of that focus paying off for them.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Here's Temple. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Spurs in San Antonio. Harris passes to Prince. Allen kicks to Harris. Over Hunter. Second chance shot. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Alex Len picks one up.
Boy, a stalwart defender who knows his strengths on offense. I mean, Allen is a fantastic two-way threat, and he wants to get better. This is a guy whose future is bright.
Dinwiddie is checked in for the Nets. And then for Atlanta, Damian Jones comes in for Len. Young is subbed in for Reddish.
Well, I covered Jared Allen in college, and you look at the physical profile he's got. 7.5-foot wingspan, big hands, explosive, really good athlete. And he's got all the tools and an upside without limits.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
And Atlanta has possession after Taurean Prince's miss. Huerter passes to Hunter. He kicks it to Jones. Young in the corner. Shoots over Dinwiddie. Young's shot is off. You were talking, Clark, about Allen's length and leaping ability. He's dangerous around the rim.
Boy, he sure is, guys. Still developing his skill game, but he's already more than serviceable at the offensive end of the floor. And we know he's a rim protector defensively. Good feet, gets up, has a touch and good hands. Boy, this guy is going to be some kind of player going forward.
The Nets have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
And, Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
Now, here is Young. He has 6 to the middle, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
What a play by Young. Out of that pick and roll, does a great job with his decision making.
29 seconds left in the second quarter. Pass to Prince. Kicks to Dinwiddie. Drops it in from 11 feet. Dinwiddie's got the lead up to 6 now for the Nets.
Hey, props to Dinwiddie there. I mean, Spencer, the closer he gets to the rim, the more dangerous he is.
Here's Young, and it's sent back by Allen. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And, you know, you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
And so it's Brooklyn holding on to an 8-point lead.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. Defensively and offensively, they improved quite a bit in the second. Thanks for joining us, folks.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. You have to like what we're seeing from Spencer Dinwiddie.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
Allen is out there with Prince. Then it's Garrett Temple. Then there's Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's Harris in at the 3 spot. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. And he comes up with the deuce. Young's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Hawks. Clark, you know, some players just don't need a lot of rest. They can play basketball all day, every day, and don't want to be taken out. They've all got a lot of engine in them.
Yeah, they do. 24/7 guys, we call them. They don't need a lot of fuel, and it seems like they never are out of fuel. Guys like Paul George and Russell Westbrook come to mind.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
On deep, Collins. Rebound, Brooklyn. Allen's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Guys, that's been the key to their league. I mean, simply put, the effort they've displayed on the glass has been the difference.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Yeah, if that's a harbinger of things to come, he's looking at having a very big second half.
Off his foot, and it's whistled a kick. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Young with the ball. Guarded now by Prince. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And he may not have gotten the same attention as some of the other picks back in the 2017 draft break, but John Collins out of Wake Forest has been outstanding thus far in his career.
Really one of the league's best kept secrets. Tremendous athleticism, also great hands, and just has a knack for moving to the open spot around that rim.
Evan Turner, he's checked in for Trae Young. Lets a floater go, and the rejection by Collins. And here is Turner. Outside Collins. To the left wing. Hunter, no one around him. That one off the back iron and out.
Well, I cannot believe he didn't capitalize there, and neither can he.
And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Inside, Herter, good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
And how about the awareness Hunter possesses, understands when one of his guys has an opportunity.
Dinwiddie outside. Prince outside. Shot clock at 6. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. Brooklyn shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
How about the year Spencer Dinwiddie was having last season? He was a candidate for most improved and 6th man of the year, then ended up tearing ligaments in his thumb, which cost him a month. But I still think he had a breakout season and more to come.
Unloads from 13. Good, he hits the jump shot. And the Nets lead by 9. And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for the Atlanta Hawks. They can look forward to the Cavaliers after this game in a matchup against Cleveland. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Here's Len. That shot off. Excellent D there from Allen. Clark, you were talking about the injuries for Dinwiddie going into the 2014 draft. A torn ACL caused his drafting stock to slip.
I loved him in college, Kevin. At Colorado, I thought he was outstanding, and he actually had been talked about as a lottery pick. He ended up falling to the second round, and he's showing you he was worthy of being a lottery pick back when he was drafted.
Turner with it. Here's the step back. Dinwiddie with some nice D.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Pinson passes to Allen. Feeds it to Prince. Goes up again, and Allen with the layup. Allen's got the lead up to 11 now for the Nets.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Lenke kicks to Parker. There's the triple. Atlanta again missing. The Nets have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Again, the Nets for 2.
Timeout.
Atlanta calls timeout.
Yeah, things not going their way, and he wants to just try to talk this one over.
And you know what, guys? If for nothing else, just to slow things down a little bit, change it up somewhat.
Atlanta making some changes. Damian Jones is checked in for Alex Len. DeAndre Bembry comes in for Reddish. Young is subbed in for Hunter. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Hawks have been in rebuild mode for the last couple of years, but this season brings a lot of optimism. Passing on Luka Doncic, the Hawks drafted Trae Young. It was much scrutinized, but Young came on down the stretch. His playmaking makes other people better, and also, they hope, will attract a free agent or two. Now the Hawks have added several rookies, starting with DeAndre Hunter. They believe they're poised to make some noise in the East. Kevin?
They took that gamble with Doncic and getting Young. We'll see what happens. Thank you, D.A. Pass to Jones. 52 seconds left here in the third quarter. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the board has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Now here's Turner. Pulls up. High post. Atlanta again missing.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
You know, guys, no denying it's been a rough patch here. I think they've got to run whatever is best in their playbook to get a good shot.
Jordan's shot is off.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
Young outside. From the arc. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Ringing the bell. That's the way to close the quarter.
Talk about lifting up a team and energizing them at the end of a quarter. A 3 at the buzzer, that'll do it.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Nets out in front as they wrap up the third quarter with a 13-5 run. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for Atlanta, Young and Herter make up the back. John Collins is out there with Bender, and it's Jones in at the center position. The Hawks trail by 14. Outside Collins. Here's Bembry. Goes up on the block. It's deflected, and he gets it back. And here's Young from the arc. That one doesn't go. So Brooklyn will take it the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. Next step for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And, guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Dinwiddie outside. And there's the pass to Jordan. Chandler trying to free himself up. Collins grabs the miss. Collins has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Young against Dinwiddie. Jones dishes to Collins. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. Zone defense, Clark, being played now by a lot of teams. It's amazing that even when point totals just continue to rise.
And you know what? I attribute the point totals continuing to rise to a couple of things. One, the volume of three-point shots that are being taken. And I think teams are playing at a little faster pace universally. You don't see as much walking the ball up the floor as I think you may have seen in years past.
Garrett Temple has checked in for Wilson Chandler. Here's Temple. Pass to Dinwiddie. Pass to Nwaba. Kicks it out to Dinwiddie. With the teardrop, that's tipped. Here's Hunter. Rebound, Brooklyn.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Nets.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
I've been impressed with how well they penetrated tonight, too.
Prince has checked in for the Nets. Here's Herter. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
And finally, someone scores.
Yeah, it's been a defensive battle, to say the least, partner. Good to see at least somebody got the ball in the basket. Finally.
Outside Jordan. With some arc. 5 on the clock. It's good from long range. Timeout. And the Nets lead by 16.
Set up on a platter that time by Harris. A room service dime right there.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. And a 4-year player at Baylor, Taurean Prince, something of a surprise. Why do we pick back in 2016? But, Greg, he's become a very valuable player.
You know, he's one of those two-way power wings that it seems every team wants. A dependable three-point marksman who holds his own defensively.
The Nets making a switch here. Allen's checked in. Passes it to Fernando. Back to Young. To the paint. And that one is hammered home.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
Here's Temple. The pass to Dinwiddie. Fernando pulls it in. And so Young will bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. They've only given up 5 points here in the fourth quarter. Outside Collins. Young outside. Back to Collins. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Fernando can't get it to go. They can burn some clock if they want to.
And get a little breather as well.
Pass to Dinwiddie. High, arcing shot, and the layup is up and in. Dinwiddie's got 20 points.
You know, sometimes you forget about Dinwiddie's versatility. I mean, when he's feeling good, he's capable of scoring from any place.
Young pass to Fernando. Can't cash in from close range.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Dinwiddie passes to Harris. He dishes it to Allen. Here's Dinwiddie. That doesn't go either for Dinwiddie.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Brooklyn.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win.
And making the right plays when necessary, closing out this club for the second time this season. This victory gives them a 2-0 lead with 2 left against the Hawks.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Allen.
He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Pass to Len. Lets it go with a 3. No good that time. The Nets go the other way with it. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pinson passes to Karuch. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
The first one falls. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth. Passes to Len. Turner looking around. Excellent D there from Allen. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they came out to do.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. So long.